The heavyweight division is finally moving again. Undisputed champion Tom Aspinall has officially been medically cleared after enduring a brutal 8-month recovery and multiple eye surgeries following his controversial no contest against Ciryl Gane last October. The British powerhouse just revealed that his team has formally notified the UFC that he is completely ready to return to the octagon. Tom isn't making any demands about the location either. He explicitly stated he is perfectly willing to march right into enemy territory and fight in Paris, or wherever else the promotion wants to set it up. Right now, he is simply waiting on the matchmakers to send him an official date so he can finally unify the belts and settle the score with the Frenchman. Speaking of Ciryl Gane, his recent interim title victory over Alex Pereira at the massive White House event is still generating a ton of bad blood. Alex is absolutely refusing to let go of the controversial second-round stoppage. On top of that, he completely trashed Gane's cardio and overall willpower. The former two-division champ claimed that Ciryl was completely exhausted and on the verge of a massive adrenaline dump right before the finish. Alex stated he could clearly look into his opponent's eyes and see that the Frenchman had absolutely no heart left for a prolonged heavyweight war. Let's dive into what Tom had to say.
Listen, we've let the UFC know that we're ready to go and we're just waiting for dates. We told them we can do it in Paris, we told them we can do it wherever they want. So we're just waiting for them to let us know. I'm in the gym, smashing it.
We will be with you the week after. We'll come and film a bit of a sesh.
Yeah.
Got the boys back in town, so we'll keep people updated. But as we say, the UFC, we're waiting on them.
We are waiting on them.
Paddy Pimblett just revealed how dangerously close he came to walking away from the sport forever. Reflecting on the massive stakes of his recent matchup, Paddy admitted he seriously considered retiring from mixed martial arts entirely if he had lost to the Frenchman. The Scouser explained his brutal pre-fight mindset, sharing that he felt if he couldn't get past a tough contender like BSD, there was absolutely no point in continuing his career because his ultimate dream of becoming a world champion would be officially dead. Thankfully for his fans, Paddy delivered the performance of his life and is now taking aim at the absolute top of the lightweight division. Meanwhile, the massive fallout from Conor McGregor's devastating knee injury continues to pour in, and the Irish superstar is getting some major respect from a completely unexpected source. Javier Mendez, the longtime head coach of Team Khabib, put their bitter, historic rivalry aside to genuinely praise McGregor's incredible dedication. Mendez openly called Conor a true warrior, pointing out exactly how hard he trained to make this massive comeback, a reality after 5 years away from the octagon. The legendary coach admitted that watching a fighter put that much intense work into a return only to suffer a freak uncontrollable injury is completely heartbreaking, adding that regardless of their bad blood, your heart simply has to go out to him in that tragic moment.
To me, it's like to have a warrior like him train as hard as he did after a 5-year layoff and come back. And to have something like that happen, your heart has to go out to the guy. Look, I may not like him as a person at times, but I have to respect what a great warrior he is. And to see him go out that way is not the way I would want anyone to go out. You'd want them to go out with, doing what they came out there to do, perform. Either the other man was the better man or you were the better man, but he beat himself on that one. And that's the one that I feel for him, because that's not something that I would want for anybody, and he deserved to either become victorious or lose to Max, but that's the way it needed to go. But, you got to give all the credit due to Max, willing to step aside and go, look, man, the guy's injured, pay attention to his injury. I don't want, he could have easily capitalized on that. He didn't.
Daniel Cormier has just revealed a surprising story about Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor that very few fans expected to hear. Speaking on his latest show, DC revealed that Khabib told him he would shake Conor McGregor's hand if they ever crossed paths and Conor's family was with him. That detail is important because Khabib has always put family and respect above everything else, even when it comes to his biggest rivals. DC then shared an even more interesting story that took place after Conor McGregor suffered his leg break against Dustin years ago. He said Khabib confronted him for being too friendly with Conor, explaining that he had deliberately kept his distance from Jon Jones out of respect for Daniel because he knew how personal their rivalry was. During that conversation, Nurmagomedov also revealed that despite everything that had happened with Conor, he would still greet him respectfully if the situation was appropriate. Considering the history between Khabib and McGregor, this is a remarkable stance. Their rivalry wasn't just about fighting. It became one of the most personal feuds the UFC has ever seen, involving the infamous bus attack, the UFC 229 post-fight brawl, and years of hostility between both camps. For Khabib to now say he'd shake Conor's hand under the right circumstances shows just how much he values respect and family, even when it comes to someone he's had one of the fiercest rivalries with in MMA history. Here's what DC had to say. Quote, "I saw Conor McGregor one time in Abu Dhabi. I don't know who he was fighting. I think it was Dustin Poirier. We were shaking hands and we were talking a little bit, and we were very kind of chummy, right? And Khabib was like, 'Brother, I don't understand.' He said, 'If I see Conor with his wife, I'll shake his hand because that's what you're supposed to do.' He goes, 'But brother,' and I initially kind of fought it, then I started thinking about it, and people close to me were like, 'No, Daniel, he's right. He is right. Look at the stance he has taken in regards to you and everybody you deal with. Why in the world would you not take that same stance?' So when asked about Jones' comments, Khabib had this to say, 'I've never had any disagreement with John Jones. He's a great fighter, but my friend Daniel Cormier is in conflict with him, and automatically he cannot be my friend.' Conor McGregor is absolutely refusing to end his MMA career. After lasting just 69 seconds in his highly anticipated return against Max Holloway, McGregor has officially confirmed that he will be going under the knife to repair the damage. But instead of hanging up the gloves for good, the Irishman made it clear on social media that his next moves are already locked in. He mapped out a strict plan consisting of surgery, rehabilitation, and an immediate return to the training room. His ultimate goal? To step back into the octagon one last time and officially fulfill the final fight remaining on his current UFC contract. Conor also insisted that his recent lifestyle changes are completely permanent, and that he remains entirely focused on getting his hand raised again. Whether the UFC actually books him for one more ride after suffering 2 catastrophic leg injuries in a row remains to be seen. But McGregor is leaving no doubt. He is not done yet. Who do you guys think the UFC should book him against for his final contractual fight if he actually manages to recover? Let me know in the comments. Let's dive into what UFC lightweight Dan Hooker had to say about Conor's injury.
We're just as excited to see Conor McGregor box one of these big name guys for $100 million as we were before that fight. Boxing is a very difficult sport, but it's far less taxing all over on your body. I feel like boxers sustain a lot more head trauma than MMA fighters do. Just the bigger gloves and just the duration. If you're fighting 12 3-minute rounds with the cushioned gloves, I feel like they sustain a lot more head trauma. But I feel like all over the body, MMA is obviously a lot more taxing on your joints, and you get like niggly on your or your ligaments in your knees, and you got your back and your neck, and there's a lot more different places to get fatigued and get injured. So it's just coming to a point now where maybe his body can't hold up in that MMA space, and they should just let him box and earn some crazy money.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications to make sure you never miss daily MMA news.